Hello, everyone. Good morning, everybody. This is Daniel Bernabe, Daily Inspirational Coach. Today, we have a special guest, Debby Krus. We have a special event during this month, July, to celebrate our 2 years podcast anniversary. And we have a guest today, Debby Krus. The topic for this podcast is about talking about gifts and talents. We're going to talk how his gift, definition of gifts and talents, and how we can use our gifts and talents to serve others. It's not about us, it's about God and others. Now, welcome to our guest, Debby Krus. How are you doing this morning, Debbie?
I'm wonderful. How are you?
I'm
Congratulations.
great. Thank you that you can
That,
be part of our show this morning.
um,
Debbie, today that you know that I'm celebrating my 2 years podcast anniversary, as you know it, right?
yes, I love it. I'm excited. I want to learn more about your podcast, and you've been in it for 2 years and learn about your ministry. So tell me how you decided to get started.
Great. And then my podcast, we started in 2019 in the pandemic. I can say 2020 we started. And when we were on Facebook in 2019, when we were on Facebook Daily Inspirational Quotes, and then we wrote that book, and so that people can know more about the content of it. And then a friend of mine, my brothers, gave us an idea to start talking about the book. I started a small video, and after a couple months, I realized that video is not enough to reach the public. I have to do a lot of things, and I decided to do it in audio. And then I started a small cell phone, and then and many months, the Lord, used us to say word of encouragement to others through that book. And after we have the opportunity to have a little studio to do, I can say, podcast live, and then we with audio, and after we share it to different platforms, Anchor, Spotify, and we can have a chance to be part of Podmatch, where we can meet a lot of podcasters like you and others. And then I'm so excited this morning that I can celebrate my 2 years podcast anniversary. That 2 years, and give word of encouragement to others. And believe it's not so easy, but the Lord I use us as an instrument to tell words of encouragement to others. As you know, everybody needs words of encouragement, especially when they're facing tough times. We need someone that can tell us, go for it, you can do it, believe in yourself, believe in God, make action plans and to realize what you gotta put in your heart, like dreams. And then this kind of word, the Lord I use me and I can be able to tell others about that. And I'm so excited by the grace of the Lord, 2 years from July 2020 and to July 2022, we are celebrating our 2 years podcast anniversary. And I'm so happy that I can have you with us this morning, as always, because the third time you come in my show as guest. And I'm glad today we're going to talk to the audience the difference between gifts and talents and how they can use it to benefit others. Because, God give us gifts and talents. It's not for us, it's for others. And I'm glad this morning you can be part of our show. You can tell the audience the definition of gifts and talents. Thank you, Debbie, for the questions. This is the story of my podcast this morning. Thank you for coming, Debbie.
Thank
Debbie, how are you? One more time. Glad to
you.
see
Good.
you. Glad to meet you now.
Yes, you too. Great to see you. And I'm excited. And I bet you have a lot of really wonderful success stories from your podcast, of you showing everybody your gifts and talents. So I'm sure we can get to talk to that at some point. Um, but yeah, talking about gifts and talents, I mean, I think we can look at them as both, but sometimes can be given a gift and it can be a little stressful or a little bit confusing to you. And a lot of times you can have a talent where people could be really excited of your talent and expect you to use that fully. Like, so for instance, if you're an amazing athlete and you're given this gift of, I don't know, you can run at a crazy pace that people are like, oh, that you're such a good runner, you should run marathons, you should become do something professional with that. But it could be, yeah, something I'm good at, but it's not necessarily what's in my heart or what I like, want to do. And I look at it as a stressful thing. Let's just use a football player as a, that's a little bit easier than a professional runner. It could be, hey, let's talk about Tim Tebow. Like his talent was, learned his talent was to play football, but he also liked to play baseball, and he was good at both of them. But he realized that that wasn't his true talent. His true talent was the gift that he was given. He had a platform to be able to talk about his relationship with God, and he was able to use his platform of his talents to help people. I mean, he does a huge ministry of helping people with human trafficking and helping people with special needs. And, he met this beautiful woman that I believe she was Miss Universe. And he met her through a connection of her sister has special needs, and they met at an event and were able to collaborate. So you may think like, oh my gosh, but he was such a good player and he should have moved forward. And, that's us being selfish for wanting to look at other people's talents. But his true gift is to share his relationship with God and what he can do. So, I think it's important to look at what is inside of your heart. And even though it's a talent and could be really good at something, that may not necessarily be your truth or something that you want to show the world. It might just be something you're good at, or you can have that choice to use your talent as, hey, I'm really good at this and I want to help other people with my talents to become the best version of themselves and bring them closer to God. So just like you were, good at being inspirational, and someone's like, you got to do this, you got to use your talents to push it out there and help people. And, it may not have been your dream to say, hey, I want to get on camera and go in front of people. I think that could be really stressful. But the fact that you heard the voice and you listened to what you were good at, you took your talent, realized it was a gift, and you took it a step further to put yourself out there, and you're getting all this inspirational news out that's given to you by God, and you just want to share it. And I think that's so beautiful. So that's why I ask I bet you have tons of inspirational stories that have come from you doing this podcast. And, do you have any that you want to share?
Yes, Debbie, thank you very much, and then for all the definition about gift and talents, and I'm just amazed to listen to you about that. And basically, the way I started, you know, to discover my gift, and then something happened to me, and then some words, some thoughts come in my mind, and then I said, those thoughts, I cannot keep it for myself. Let me write them down somewhere. I type them in my computer, and those thoughts come into my mind, and I say, wow, that's good. And after a few months, I get all those thoughts, and I say, this, they are good. I can share to others. And that's why with those thoughts, I wrote my first book, Daily Inspirational Quotes. And with the same quotes, and I wrote the book and I started to share with others in 2020. And then one of the best quotes that I love, and then it says like that: the greatest treasure of the earth is people. If you could lead them, you will be able to manage all the treasures of it. And when I say that quote, this is one of the quotes that have a lot of listeners when I did that. And then many people listen to it. And then many, I can say 100 people. And then that quote says that everything that we have, we are, they are not important than people. And I said in my mind, we say that, oh, I love my car. My car is so expensive, you know. And then who created that? Who created that car? People. There's no some companies created that car. You can say, well, I love my money. I get money. Who made that money? People made that money. Factory made that money. And then I can say, wow, I'm sick, but I need to go to the hospital. If you're in a house, you cannot walk. They call an ambulance. Who would drive that ambulance van? People. You get a business. You say, I don't need people. I don't need anybody now. I have my own business. Who gonna work with you to make your business prosper? People. And then without people, we cannot do nothing. Because God says, if you cannot say you love people, you cannot love me. Because many people say, okay, I love God, but you cannot see God, but you see people. You see God through people. Because human being are representative of God on earth because you have been created in the image of God. And basically, I got in a story from that. I said there's a king who was so arrogant. That king went to a trip with with many people, his servants. But something happened. There is a hurricane, and that that boat, you know, get flooded. But all the workers of the king passed away. Only the king was able to be escaped, was safe. And then when the king get to the other shore, he cannot see anybody to serve him. All his workers passed away. He was alone in that desert place. And then he was understand after all his suffering, he has to get food for himself. And then he has to run, when he see wild animals, he was insecure. He was afraid. Nobody was with him. And then, fortunately for him, there is a little boat that was passed by. He cried for help far away. Those people approached him and they saved him. And when he came back to his palace, he reasoned in his heart there is nothing more important for him than people. And for that reason, he say, on all his kingdom, he said, people first. And all the treasure they have, all the money they have, they're second. And that story, push a lot of people to think that everything you have, God first and people. I can say God first and people. And everything that you ever can say they are third in your lives. Because everything that we have, we should need people first. And then I understand that the topic, the quote that I wrote says the greatest treasure on earth of the earth is people. If you could lead them, you will be able to manage all the treasures of it. And I realize that when we value people, we get the best thing. People first. That is one of the quote that I love. From my old maturity story. You know, yeah, Debbie. And then I believe also you have gift. What I was saying about gift for me, gift is something natural. That's something you discover, and then you discover your gift when you know yourself, who you are, your potential. You discover what you're best at, what you can do better. You discover treasure in you, and then while you discover treasures in you, is like the mines of gold and diamond. We get the treasure worth, and we go to, I can say the word, to refine it. We find our gift. We find our gift. We don't go to school to learn gift. We go to school to refine our gift. For example, if you get a gift of public speaking, helping people as a coach, you discover who you are. You know who you are. You get the gift of coaching. What you do now, you go to a school to refine, I can say, to refine that gift. And then that gift becomes sharp and equipped to serve others. Now it can produce, you know, fruits that can touch many hundred people, many thousand people. This is what we have gift and talent. That's something you discover you're good at. That's your gift. And you go somewhere that's not your ability that the Lord has given to each one of us. A gift. And when you don't discover your gift, You can do things, people like good, good, good. But when you do something that you are created to do, you're the best in it. When you look at an example with many basketball players, with many tennis players, with many golf players, many great artists, many great people that make history because they discover the gift and they work on it, they refine it, and they just publish it to the humanity. And people can say, "Wow!" For example, I got a artist that is passed away, Michael Jackson. He said, "Why do you like the music?" He said, "I don't like the music. I'm the music." Because that's come from within him. He discovered his gift when he was a little boy, and he keep refining. He keep working his gift until Michael Jackson, before he passed away. When somebody went to his concert, they were crying. Many thousand people were crying, Michael, 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 because it come from within him. He didn't go to school to learn how to sing, just go to school to find his gift, like to go to a rehearsal, you know, to know more about his gift, you know. And that's
Yeah.
why I can say that you are a coach right now. People listen to you, they can realize that, wow, Debbie helped me a lot, and that's what your gift, Debbie. As a coach, you can do that. So you leave many jobs, you leave many positions to do what you're doing right now. You feel
Yeah.
comfortable doing that. You feel you're happy. You feel you get fulfillment when you helping people. Debbie, this is for me what we call gift and talent. Talent, you can learn it everywhere. You can learn how to play the music, play the guitar, the piano. That's talent. But gift, when you do it, people amazed, people touch. Gift touch the souls. That's what I can say, Debbie. Debbie, talk more about your gift and how we can use your gift to others. When I know you're a gifted woman, you get many gifts, and the best gift that I know that you have is, helping people to discover their dreams, discover, their self significance and self worth in this world. You know, not to have give caution, dream caution. I love that part. Give, I can say dream caution. People question your dream, you cannot do it, but your gifts can help
Yeah.
people to discover the dream and work, the dream out. Debbie, talk more about your gift, how you are willing to serve others with your gift today.
Yeah, thank you. I felt like my gift was to really be able to see inside of people and what their true potential was. And when I looked back at all the jobs that I've ever had, I always could see somebody was in the wrong place, or couldn't be things outside of your job. It could be I could feel that you're not in a good relationship. I could feel that you're not living your potential. I could feel that this makes you happy. I could feel people's energy when I see them and when I talk to them. And you could tell the people that are positive and are living in their positivity because they're living in their truth. And you could feel the negativity of people that were stuck, that were using substances to just sort of survive and ignore what they were going through. A lot of storms, a lot of people in financial trouble. And a lot of it, I just can always say, always goes back to their trust in God and what God's plan is for them. So in leaving my jobs, I realized that, I wasn't serving myself because I wasn't serving God on a daily basis. I was serving a business that wanted me to do things that I didn't always agree with. And part of it was serving people. So yeah, I learned a lot of my talent is to really use that skill of feeling people's energy and who's tapping into their true self and who's not. And a lot of people really are yearning for it. And the more that I spoke about God and the more that I was truthful and made it part of my everyday, I was told by many people, like, oh, the second you start talking about God, you're people are going to turn away. People are not going to listen to you. And, you know, I was hurt by that, and, a little nervous to go out and just speak about God in my everyday. But I realized that once I was doing it little by little, people were climbing out of the woodwork. And for instance, at one job, there we were doing construction, and I had to move to some weird remote place of the building nobody really knew existed. And there was a little team in there, So we all had to kind of talk of like, okay, I'm leaving for the day, so you're the last person here. You got to lock the door. So I was leaving one day, and I'm like, I have to leave a little early. I'm running an alpha group at my church, which is it's a program to get people closer to God and to learn more about God. It's a beautiful program. And the next day, they were waiting for me at my, my little office, that temporary office. There was 3 guys waiting for me. One guy was like, I've been an atheist almost my whole life. And when you said that, I couldn't stop thinking about it. One guy cried because he said he had fallen away from the church and he felt like he needed to get back and find a new relationship with God. And he was embarrassed. And another guy just was like, I just fell off. I don't know why, but 3 guys, I just said, I'm leaving early to go run this alpha group. It's through my church. It's exciting. Bye. See you later. But just the fact that they saw in me how powerful it was. And they saw in me that my truth of being close to God and not afraid to talk about it and not afraid to just be like, hey, I'm doing this, and have that strength to go out and be a part of this group that helped others. It touched them. And I mean, I just have to tap into that and say, wow, God, that was really impactful just by having a conversation. You really want me to do something in a ministry form to get people closer to God. So I think about all the jobs I had, and I just was able to look inside of people and see if they were hurt or see where their power was of their strength in God, and use all of it, because we all somehow need to hear a word from somebody that's outside of them that has that strength of, God loves you. It doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter your mistakes. It doesn't matter what you think it should look like. And so many people want to punish themselves. I've done that to myself too. Instead of just saying, wow, you could see me. I'm able to look at someone and be like, I could see you're hurt. I could see you're upset. Talk to me, and people just love to have that comforting platform. But not everybody's going to come out and say, oh, I'm broken because this happened to me when I was 5 and I, lost my job. So forget it. I'm a loser. It's never going to happen to me again. No, people aren't going to come and ask people that, because they hold it inside of themselves. And so I feel being able to just say, I could feel your hurt. I could feel that you're in pain. And then it just becomes this comforting platform of, you could see me. And I feel like it is a gift, and, to be used very with delicate hands. Somebody can look at that gift and use it in a mean, horrible way. But I believe in just using it as getting people closer to God and helping them to talk through it, to give them resources of what they can do to help themselves, to believe that they are loved, and to know that you're not here to be miserable and upset and be hurt by something. You're here to heal and to be this fabulous person that God is like, I want you here because you're going to accomplish this and you're going to do this. And somehow this world taught us to not do the opposite, to just be like, oh, that's too big. No, I can't do that. Oh, I can't. We're just told I can't. And to stare at it every day and feel bad about it. How about changing that story? How about changing that dead end story and say, gosh, I'm worthy. I could do so much for you, for the Lord, and you brought me here. Show me what I'm supposed to do, because I'm obviously not doing it. Or I feel it and I feel like I can't accomplish it. It feels too big. It feels impossible. And, being able to hold somebody's hand through that whole journey and watch people flourish is just beautiful and amazing. And I've been given the gift, yes, but I also feel like it is a gift to be able to use it to really help people be the best of themselves and get themselves closer to God.
Yes, Debbie, that's great to share with us your story. And then, because, when you surrounded yourself with good people that can say, you can do it, never give up, that's good. And then I see that in your community, you find the people. And then I'm so happy that you can explain to us that, you know, sometimes people can help you discover what you're good at, right? And then and this is the best thing. Sometimes we lose many things, but when somebody can, you can do that. That's why I feel that when you say something, when you do that, people touch. And I can imagine that people need someone to listen to. And then whatever situation you're facing, you're looking for someone to say that, I bet that person can at least listen to me. And that's why your part is as a coach to listen to people when they have a situation. Let me call Debbie. He can listen to me, and then and after at the end he can tell me something that can help me to go forward. And then many people struggling with that. That they have nobody to listen to them. And when we choose to use our gift, you know, our gifts always be good to people. So we say, okay, if you have something, what you have is destroying others, is not a gift. Because gift always be good to people. You can
Yeah.
be successful in many things, but if your success do harm to people, make people feel sad, make people feel uncomfortable, and then you don't add value to people, you don't help people, it's not a gift. Because God never, gives some his children or his creature something that what he's doing is to destroy others. You can identify gifts always there to help others, to make people feel good, make people feel comfortable, make people feel wow, that person complete me. That person said something that I needed that word that time. I
Yeah.
really need that. For example, when a person go play music, with that person have a gift of music, touch souls, touch heart. And then that's why when you are a coach, people you work with people. You see people first, you're helping people, discover themselves, if they are struggling with situations, coach is there to help them say, okay, I'm listening to you. Okay, don't worry. We're gonna work together to go out of through this. And the person feel comfortable because when somebody listens to you, Debbie, about the family situations, a job situations, and after you listen to all the frustration that person has, that frustration say, okay, I listen to you. Now, are you ready to listen to me? And that person, yeah, because that person feel relaxed after he can say everything that he has within his mind. And then you have been listening to that person now is willing to listen to you because you get to say something that comes from your heart, that comes from your gift that person needed. And I believe that we all need people in those certain times of life. We all need other people gift because you can have a gift of coaching. I need your gift, and somebody can have a other gift. You need the gift. We connected to each other, you know. And then
Yes.
my gift is inspirational to inspire people when they are to encourage them. This is my gift. And when people listen, they feel comfortable. And the same way people listen to you, they get a word of encouragement. They get a word to build them up, to help them to have a better future. Because many people messed up their lives because they didn't have anybody to talk to. They make every bad decision. They always correcting. They always correcting mistakes. If you spend all your life correcting mistakes, you're not going anywhere.
Yeah.
Because you have to get somebody
Yeah.
that they can listen to you and also you can listen to them. Because correcting mistakes, errors all the time is like you just backward. You can do one step forward and you do two step backward. You're not going anywhere. That's been coach is good. People that can listen to you. People that can have the gifts, encouragement, that can say, you can go for it. Change this, change that. And you're gonna get the results. And that's why now we have a lot of motivators, a lot of coaches. They have gifts, not for themselves, for people.
Yeah.
And Debbie, you are one of them. And then when I listen to you, when I listen to everybody that in touch with you, they get the result. That's your gift. And Debbie, what is your desire? What is your vision for the humanity? our like young people especially, because we have to focus more on the young people, though I can say, yeah, the young people, the new generation, because the adults now, some people are the 50s, they sometimes they can know who they are because they get experience, they go through life, but some kids, some children, I can say, some young people now, they know themselves, and then that's burden to me as an author, as a inspirational, motivational person. And I say there's some sect people, get influenced by friends. My friend do that, and it told me scared that I do it, but without knowing, the result could be could be negative. And
Mm.
people, I know it's good to learn from experience. They are young, but what can we do, Debbie, to serve those young people to a gift? How we can reach out to them, to let them cover themselves, not to follow, not to be manipulated by friends, but to know who they are and have something worth for, to go for it and discover themselves. And they can use the gift as well for humanity. What we can do for those people, Debbie? What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, if I could change the world, right? So,
Yeah.
I mean, I wish that we, as educators, as parents, as neighbors to each other, would spend more emphasis on really letting children develop themselves, because children know how to tap into
Hmm.
their gifts. They know exactly what drives them, because that's all they have. That's all they have is what God gave them in their heart of, wow, I'm really good at this. I'm really good at this. I feel good doing this. But we damage them with words of you can't, you can only do this. That you're living in a world where there's so much ugliness and danger, and words are huge. They're
Yeah.
huge destruction, they're huge danger. We turn on the TV, we can't help but listen to how we're destroying ourselves. What I do is encourage anybody at any age to really listen and follow their heart. And it can be in prayer, it can be in meditation, and all of that can be just being with yourself, just
Hmm.
spending time alone and say, what really feels good to me? What feels right? And if you're following a crowd and you're not really sure what you're doing, you're in the wrong crowd, because you're lost. And
Right.
that doesn't mean you can't be found. And when I say lost, is just you took a wrong turn off path, but God always brings you back. You're never going to make a mistake if you're following your heart, because God's always going to guide you. So when you feel that wall come to you, when you feel like there's this area of I made a mistake, or I'm embarrassed, or how did this happen to me, you have to stop and look at it and say, what is God protecting me from? What is God rerouting me from? And give thanks. I don't think that we're taught enough to give thanks and praise in the bad times and in the good times. The bad times is when we're really paying attention to God.
Hmm.
And when we hit that wall, we want somebody to blame. So, of course, we're going to blame everybody around us except for ourselves. And then we're also going to blame God of, why did you put me here? But instead of saying, it's a conditioning, it's really hard. So instead of saying all these destructive things and pointing fingers, just turn to God and say, God, why? What is the lesson you're trying to tell me? I am grateful that you're guiding me, but I'm not listening. So help me listen to you more. Help me to find my talents. And I think the more you get into that habit, and the more you work on asking God for guidance, asking God for grace, asking God for direction, and just listening, because you'll find what's in your heart. It'll come to you. And even if God's like throwing everything in your face and you're like, ooh, ooh, what was that? I didn't get it. He's going to be like, all right, that didn't work. We're going to find another way. So,
Yeah, yeah, that's great. That's great.
yeah. So he's always God wants you here for a reason. You're not here to be compared to somebody else. You're not here to follow somebody that doesn't feel right for you. You're here for your own unique talents, strengths, and gifts. And the closer you get to God, the more he's going to show you. And there's more than you can even imagine. It's not just one thing.
Yeah.
You're so gifted and talented. And when you're in those moments of you don't recognize yourself in the mirror, there's some layers you have to take off. So it could be too much makeup, it could be too much swag going on, it could be too many things that are blocking you from being your true authentic self. And the more you really spend that time in those meditations and prayers, and it is simply just sitting with yourself, you don't have to make it complicated. Those answers will come, and you can really hear the cheerleading of God and all the saints and angels that are surrounding you at all the time. You can really hear them cheer it on, because they just are so excited and want to help you. So never be afraid to turn to God, to ask him for help and assistance, and to show you what your gifts are.
Yes. And thank you, Debbie, because many young people, they get a lot of gifts, a lot of talents, then they cannot discover who you are, who they are, and then they are misled by bad companies. And that's why we we should encourage those young people good words so they can believe themselves and use what they have for the next generation and for this generation for the next to come. Because if we don't help those young people with words, and reach out to them with our podcast, with our tips as well. And then when we passed away, those people will need something. That's what we're doing now. Everything that we do here is gonna be a legacy, and they can listen to us whenever we're
Yeah.
not here anymore. And we give our gifts to the generation and the next to come. That'll be our legacy. And that's why I can realize that people need valued, to be valued, to be respected, to be loved, you know. And I realized something. I said something before we get to this, and then when people have mistakes, let them learn from their mistakes and tell them learn from your mistake and get the best of it. Be
Yes.
better, and then be better. If everything that happened to you, you cannot learn from it, cannot get better, is nothing. And and I believe that those young people need words of encouragement, need word of hope. And sometimes where I am, I'm not afraid to tell some people, you can be good at something first before I just let them know the mistakes, the errors. I always congratulate them first for the good thing they have inside. Because if you put to people, you just mention them the good part, they'll not listen to you. You have to start congratulate them for something good they have, for something good they have done. After you congratulate them first, and then they feel happy, and after they are ready to listen some correction, some feedbacks. And we live in a society right now. Most of the people, the young people, I can say, are using electronic cigarettes. They
Mhm.
feel happy about that, and I say you get the feeling, you get a sensation, really good. Sure, because young people who are 18 years old, they get good thing inside of them, but because they're using the electric cigarettes, and I can tell you that you get something to give to humanity. You yawn, you get strength, you get just something great. But by using this kind of things, it's good for the time being, but you never know the consequences after 15 years, after 20 years, if they keep using that stuff, all every day. And then they can say, think about that, the consequences before doing everything. And I say, okay, I don't know, but they know that when you use the normal cigarettes, your liver is dark, you get problem in the future. But if you keep, smoking this kind of thing, it's not bad now, but the consequences. And then everything we do, we cannot focus only in the present result only. We have to think about the future result. What next? Because future is what we're working for. Today is past, but we plan for tomorrow, and we have something new for tomorrow. And that's why those young people, they have to think about my tomorrow, in my 50s, in my 60s, who I'm gonna be, what I'm gonna do, because and that the next generation, the next generation is based on the new young people today. The adults, 40, 50 in the future. And as a kind of people, they need some good advice, not to pressure them to tell, oh, it's not good. Talk them with love and appreciation, let them feel valuable. And then as you can give them piece of advice, They can accept it or reject it, but you let them know about the consequences. If everything you do have the consequence in the future. That's why your everything you do now get the result in the future. And that's why I remember when I first started my podcast, 2020. I never reached many people. I never reached for the first step. I cannot reach many people, but now I reach many thousand, many hundred people. And then it's the first step. The result is because I start something good, and the future give me better results. And if you start something negative today, don't expect that you get a better result in the future. If you start something bad today, the result will be worse in the future. And everything is the way you start, and there's a chance to change direction. That's why we have all coaches like you, all motivators to motivate people, change things. If you see that the thing that you're doing, even if you love it, if you know that in the future gonna give you bad result, don't do it. Even if you love it, don't do it. And not everything that you love that's good. There's some kind of food if you keep eating it every day, you're gonna be sick, even if you love it. But you don't do things because you love it. That's cute to love things that you do. But the best thing you do things because you know the result will be better for me. Because everything you do with passion, if it's good, go for it. Everything you do, even if you're passion, but in the future will be sorry. If I knew I could listen to Debbie, if I know I can listen to Dan, if I know I can listen to many other coaches, but you want to go for it, but I expect people will help it to so you will pay the consequences by yourself. And if I, not, everything you do, you enjoy the benefits for yourself, which is good or bad. And the good is you cannot share bad thing to people. People will listen to you, but always people will enjoy your good benefits. But that's why when you get good success, people would like to enjoy with you, right? But when you get bad results, what happened? People with nice result, right? People always share good result with you. Congratulations, good job, congratulations. But the bad result, I'm not there with you. That's why everything you do today, you have to focus about the result and do tomorrow. And that's what the best way is. Get good coach, people who have gift and talent. You can meet with them, let them understand your vision, your dreams. With your good path, bad path, they can give you some step of direction to say, okay, if I were you, I could do that, I could do that. And that's why Debbie and I are here to share different talents, to let you know you're not alone. You can do good things. Debbie, say something to our audience, the last word before we end our show today, that come from your own experience, how you can help people go further in life with their gifts and talents.
Yes, I just want to say you're divinely made by God, and He wants nothing but the best for you. So take those moments to look at the sunshine and say how wonderful it is and be blessed in every moment. And He wants to help you turn all your situations around. So smile as often as you can because positivity is contagious. And it'll definitely help brighten your day. And just know that God wants the best for you.
Yes, thank you, Debbie, and wonderful words to the people. And one thing I want to say myself, and what to think is very important. What to think determine what you say, and what you say determine what you do. And I can say the greatest blessing that can happen to anybody is the transformation of your mindset to think in the way to do something great for yourself and to benefit others. Because we're living now in a selfish world, people self-centered. That's normal. But if that you do for you, if somebody can benefit from it, that's good. If you do something for you, it's good for you, and that same thing destroying others, for me, there is no blessing there.
Yeah.
I love it. It's good for me. I enjoy it, but it makes somebody else suffer. It's not good. But if you do something, I feel I love it. It's good for me, and also people benefit from it. Do you feel happy when they share my experience? When they share what I do, it's a blessing, right? And your mind can be transformed to things. And I say, whatever location you are, you connect to people of your mindset. And I remember George Maxwell said, "Who you are is who you attract." You could go everywhere. You could be in a palace, If you take something differently, you'll connect with people with the same mind you are. Because I remember some young people, they live in a wonderful area, a wonderful residential. They connect with people with the same mind with them, because who you are is who you attract. And the best way you can connect to people who can help you with your dreams and have a dream by yourself. Dreamers connected with dreamers. You say dreamers is the savior of the world. If you're a dreamer, you dream big, as you said before.
Yeah.
You drink something positive. I can tell you, wherever you are, you'll be connected with those people. People that's connected with people with physical, with people connected with mindset, with vision, with dreams. Because the mind has a has a has a has a connection, and that's what can connect with you.
Yeah.
I can connect with somebody else. We cannot live with it, different countries, different locations, but am I connected? This is the power of mind. If someone can work in the mind to know who they are, they can do great things. And the
Yes.
location can stop you. Realize what you have in your mind. This is where the blessing comes in. And that's why the last
Yeah.
one, I remember I said that before. Um, your mind is the greatest asset to success. Therefore, fill your mind with good things. When you fill your mind with good things, success comes in. No matter the
Yes.
location you are, the success comes from God to your mind and thank Him. Thank you,
Yes.
Debbie, for coming to our show this morning.
Thank you so
Happy to
much.
have you. And then you're so amazing. I like to talk to you. And then I remember the first show that you did. Many people watch it on YouTube, and then
Thank
that was amazing. You get more view than anybody else. So
Oh,
it's a
thank you
blessing.
so
So,
much.
and
Well,
then nobody
wonderful.
has view, but I can say you get promotion if I listen to you, because you get
Oh,
something that's come from your gift. Everybody have different gifts, right? But people stick to their gift. It's your gift. You cannot expect the same result, right? But you
yeah.
do best, and I love the way you talk, and then you speak from a Christian viewpoint, and then that means that you have a basic relationship with God, you have intimacy with God, and then you talk about your own experience, and people love that when they can speak from their own experience when they go through, because life is about my personal testimony that counts, And thank you, Debbie, for coming to our show, and I believe you will have another time, and then enjoy your vacation. You
Thank
need
you.
it, because there are a lot of conferences, a lot of people to meet as coach you are, and God is always by your side. My greeting
Absolutely.
to you and your activities and your family. You're the good one. Welcome to our
Oh,
show. Keep the good work, Debbie. We
oh,
appreciate it so much.
thank you so much. That's so beautiful. And thank you for everything that you do, and keep up the inspiration because we need it.
Yes, yes. Thank you, Debbie. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you.
And live and you in live. Thank you, everybody that's watching to our show this morning. We are glad to have Debbie with us. I'm gonna end the show. Have a wonderful day. Everybody that listen to me, you have gifts and talents that the humanity needs your gift. Your community needs your gift. Please use your gift, discover your gift, and share it to others. That's why we are here. Serve others with your gift. That's what Daniel Barnabe, daily inspirational coach, and Debbie Krus is a coach and motivator as well, as an author. Thank you. God bless everybody. Have a wonderful day.